You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 381 of the OMG Hour. Of course, I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tico, Mr. Second Place, still not giving my last name.
Nobody knows your... Yeah, do you even have a last name, Tico?
Nope. I'm like
Tico of Clan Unknown.
I'm like Cher and Alf. One name.
You are definitely like Alf. Yeah. I will give you that. I mean, if we're going to weigh options between Cher and Alf, I'm going with Alf.
I mean, they're both basically the same person. Have you ever seen Cher and Alf in the room at the same time?
I've never seen Cher and Pokeroo in the same room, so, you know, take what you will.
Well, that's just a ridiculous thing. Ridiculous. Did you play games, Sean? What did you play?
Oh, man.
Or did I play stuff?
I did. I actually played, believe it or not, you may be surprised to hear this.
Was it Ghosts of Tsushima?
Yes! How did you know? I've been playing that game. It's like, have I mentioned it before?
So you've gotten to the point, Sean, where you can see in your eyes now, like, you know, when you leave something on your phone screen too long, it burns in. Your eyeballs have that burned into them now. You've been playing so much. Just that silhouette of
swords, and you can see Jin in my eyes now.
Yeah, it's just like that silhouette's burnt into your retina now because you've been playing so much. That is what has happened.
A bad thing. So I'm on to Act 3.
Yes.
And when you get to the final chapter of Act 2, and I as I mentioned last week, I was zigzagging through the land, completing everything. There was nothing left to do in Act 2. I had no quests left, no question marks on the map, and finally I went to the final chapter of Act 2, which is the story, basically. And it actually gave you a warning. Are you sure you want to start this now? This is a long quest.
I got to that same spot as you. Did that. It gave me the same warning, and I'm like, I don't want to do it now. I'm gonna do it later, and I just walked away from the whole situation.
So I did it, and it was a long quest. It was an hour and a half by the time the whole thing was done. So, but it was good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's reasonable.
The thing is, though, it's not one quest. It's like a bunch of quests, but they're all like finish one, immediately start another, and it's like cutscene. And
they call those.
Chain quests. A complete chain quest, and there is nothing else to do until you're done that entire quest line, and then you are in Chapter 3 or Act 3, and you're in the third land, which is the third area of the map at the far north. And boy, oh boy, does it ever change the tone of the game in Act 3. Like, it's a completely
happier. There's like
different
rainbows and, you know.
I mean, the unicorns.
Like,
the unicorns really threw me off.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
they're
like
traditional Japanese unicorns.
The cloud jumping and, you know, the whole chariots in the sky. That thing really threw me off. And it's like, I don't know what to think of this now. I mean, unicorns in ancient Japan, I didn't think that was real.
But I don't think you're describing a bad game, to be honest with you.
But no, in reality, are you in Act 3 now?
I am not. So today, the NBA playoffs is on, and the Raptors played at 1. So I did 0 things that I was supposed to do today because I started watching basketball at 1:30, and then it's like, okay, that was not a waste of a day, but I got nothing else done. I mentioned sports. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I love the game. But, wow, does Act 3 ever feel like something not completely different. Like, the story, let's put it this way, I didn't see that coming. And that's a good thing. Like, where the story goes in Act 3, I did not see coming.
Well, that's good. I mean,
yeah,
it's great storytelling, and I'm looking forward to not seeing where it's going. Yeah,
no, it's good, but it does feel different. It feels much different now. Not. I wouldn't say it's like it's not a different game by any means, but the tone of it feels different, and you'll know why once you get there. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
don't spoil it.
You and I played briefly the Marvel Avengers beta, which is available now for I think this weekend.
Yeah, open beta is available now for players on PlayStation and Xbox, and it's only fair because we have been pretty harsh on some of the decisions they've made. We've been bashing what we've seen in reviews. We've been bashing what we've seen in video. So it's only fair that we sat down with the beta and tried it.
Yes.
And really, so that way we're going to give our honest, full opinions as to what we've played.
So you played, I think you played more than I did. I played it for a little bit today. What are your thoughts of it coming out of this beta?
So it looks pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm still a little taken aback by both the voices and the facial features of the Avengers, because again it feels like it's like dollar store Chris Hemsworth, dollar store Robert Downey Jr. facial features on these guys.
I can get past Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow. I can get past them. They're okay. Even Bruce Banner, like the voices to me still feel like they fit the character, based on what we experienced over 10 years in the theaters. Thor, however, I absolutely despise the voice of Thor. It's so cartoonish.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to these characters in this role. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why. It feels a little. It looks pretty. The game to me feels like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, in basically in the way that I'm just smashing buttons. I don't know. Like, it keeps popping. Say, hey, do this for these combos. I'm like, at least everything's moving so fast. I don't know what.
I don't know what I'm. I agree.
And they're switching you again. At least in this little prologue mission that they're giving you, they're switching you from Thor to Iron Man to Hulk to
Captain America,
Black Widow. They're switching you back and forth between characters so quickly, and it's like, well, here's a moveset for this guy, but okay, I just learned the one for the other guy.
It's giving you a taste of each character.
Yeah, and I get that, but everything's so fast. It doesn't give you a real sense of how to pick up the moves. It's okay. I can see it being fun, but I'm not.
I actually did not. Impressed. I didn't have fun with it at all.
No,
I
enjoyed it a little bit. And I played past where you are, and they give you, it's like a good 25-minute Hulk mission that they give you as like the next mission after the prologue stuff in this. And Hulk it's run around and jam buttons. Enemies just pop out from all over the place, and the camera angles don't switch or target the enemies as well as they should. It just feels like I'm just slamming my hand on all 4 buttons as much as I can. I'm not taking really any damage. I don't feel it's very difficult.
It's too much of a brawler for me. It's literally just a button masher, and I don't feel like I'm actually really doing anything. And I don't know. I was not having fun with this at all.
Yeah, I will say play a little bit more, because once you get into that next mission, it does, and I'm not saying it gets better, but I want you to play a little bit more just so you can get a full sense of, because it gets to the point where you can start customizing your hero, and adding, like, you get some your special attacks and stuff like that. You get skill points and stuff like that. So at least you get a sense of that full thing, as opposed to just this demo piece. I would recommend that you try that. It's not great. It's certainly not a game that I'm going to go spend $70 on.
No, absolutely not. This is, when I play a demo, I want to be excited for a game.
Yeah.
This demo and like playing as Iron Man was awful.
That felt so uncomfortable. There's no lock on. I'm just like It did not feel like that should be fun. The act of flying as Iron Man
should be the best part of it.
Shooting these things should feel fantastic, and it really just felt
awkward
and uncomfortable.
That's the big thing for me, though. Overall, the controls on this game are terrible.
Yeah.
They really, I felt like nothing was working properly. Everything felt sluggish and just... I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe, is this the wrong kind of game for Square Enix? Maybe they're out of their comfort zone for this kind of a game?
It's a combination of mashing buttons and QuickTime events.
I don't know, man. As a beta, I should feel excited. When I played the beta for The Division, when I played the beta for Destiny, I was over the moon excited for those games. this beta makes me want to forget this game exists.
Yeah, and it also made me feel even more frustrated about the Spider-Man decision, because each of the heroes, like, they'll get their, in order to be able to use them properly in the things, they'll get their own standalone missions.
Well, see, now, but see, I'm so unexcited for the game, I don't even care about Spider-Man.
No, but that makes me even more frustrated, the fact that Spider-Man and that series of missions for Spider-Man, that's not something that everybody's going to get to experience. So you're taking out, it's like it's like somebody's brought your birthday cake in, and Sony's run in and grabbed a handful of your birthday cake and run out of the room. Like, that's what that feels like. Hey, like, you know, I was excited to have before you've even had a chance. They run in, like, not even cut a slice. They just grabbed it with their hand and, like, are eating it as they're laughing as they're walking out. That's what this feels like.
Yeah. You know, the Iron Man VR felt like 1,000 times better playing as Iron Man than this did.
Anthem felt better as playing as Iron Man.
Yes, Anthem got it right. Anthem, we've always said Anthem is the Iron Man game we've always wanted. This is what this should have been, and it's not.
They should have stolen the Anthem flying in a metal suit tech to give to Iron Man for this game, and it may have felt, but it does not feel good to be Iron Man in this.
Not at all.
I'm gonna finish. I will finish the demo. I'm gonna go through and finish the demo. So I'm like halfway through that second mission. I don't know how long the demo actually is. I've just started playing as Miss Marvel. I mean, it's, again, I'm not finding it to be terrible, but I'm also not excited about it. And the fact that I'm not excited about it, and it's not fantastic, and their Spider-Man decision is for me, this makes this a, you know, I will wait till this is Game Pass or, you know, free with a fill up of gas or whatever they end up doing.
Right?
With these things, like, that's what Anthem is right now. Is you know?
Yeah. Anyway, that's the Marvel. That's our thoughts on the Marvel Avengers beta. What else did you play this week, Tico?
So Game Pass was nice to me. You know, this week, Battletoads showed up on.
Boy, does this ever look like a Saturday morning cartoon.
It really does, and I think that they've really taken that. Like, I played the original, and it was very, very difficult. This one here doesn't feel difficult, but it is, again, it's a lot of button smashing and stuff like that.
The original Battletoads was a claymation style, like it looked like Donkey Kong Country. Like, it was that sort of realistic, weird claymation look. This is like a cartoon now.
Yeah, they've gone full cartoon. You know, it fits better on lunchboxes and stuff like that. It's just hitting a lot of buttons and combo buttons, and they can do, like, morph things. Like, the big guy, like, he has a 3-hit combo where his hand is like a brick, and then an anchor, and then a kitchen sink. With the third one, which is, they're fun little animations and stuff like that. One of the guys turns into a shark, take bites out of things like this. I think they're called the morphing attacks. It's a lot of button smashing and stuff as well. Yeah.
Not something I care about.
No, I mean, and a few interesting decisions. So this is a game that was available on Game Pass at launch, and it is a game with 3 toads in it that does not have online multiplayer.
What?
Local multiplayer only at launch. I don't know if they're adding online multiplayer, but yeah, you need to. It's couch co-op only.
Oh, that's bizarre.
It's a very odd choice. It's fun, but it's a lot of just mashing buttons and dying a lot until you don't have anything more to punch.
Okay. Well, I was never a fan of Battletoads anyway.
I like the toads, but like the actual game, I was not a huge fan of. I do like the toads because they were funny. They had like one-liners as they were going along and stuff like that, and it was kind of entertaining. And if that wasn't punishment enough, I decided to play a game called Mortal Shell this week.
Are you just trying to punish yourself this week?
Yeah, apparently. I don't like myself very much. So Mortal Shell is a Dark Souls-like game.
I mean, why are you playing this kind of game? I mean, the game looks beautiful. Like, it's like
very pretty, gray.
It's dark. It's gray, but I mean, it looks real.
Yeah.
But why do you, like? Okay, this is a game JJ would love.
JJ would absolutely. I guarantee you, he's probably already halfway done this game at this point. In the same amount of time it takes me to kill one enemy, he probably finishes the game.
Probably.
So the idea here is you are like a ghost type creature, and you have to find a body or a shell to inhabit. And so that's the idea: is you jump into a body, and then you use that body to go around and kill.
That's your mortal shell.
Your shell. Mortal.
So you're basically Castiel from Supernatural.
Yeah, you're just jumping in. So when you fight enemies, they will hit you like 1.5 times, and you'll fire you out the back of your body. Like you have some things like there's a block button, which apparently I'm not very good at figuring out how it works because it's timing. Like you basically hit the block and you like go into stone form, and I'm really bad at timing that. Like I do the stone form, and then it comes off, and then I get hit.
Oh, so it only lasts a second.
It only lasts like it's like it doesn't stay in stone form, or I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe I'm not doing it right. And then it fires you out of the body. Then you get back up, and you can attack in your ghost form and stuff like that. But the whole idea is to back away.
Oh.
And like give yourself time, and then jump back into your shell again, which is like an extra layer of armor. It's like Ghosts and Goblins when you're in your armor, and then so when you're knocked out, you're basically in your boxer shorts.
And so this is like, it just restarts you from a checkpoint, I guess?
It just restarts, yeah, it just restarts. So it's not as brutal as, like, it's not like game over. It'll restart you from the checkpoint, and then you go in and try to, cause, like, you have to kill that guy. And by the way, I will point out, I did kill him. He is dead. I have killed. So this
is he dead permanently now in the game? Is he dead permanently?
I hope so.
Oh, you don't know if he comes back?
I don't know if he comes back.
If they respawn after you kill them?
Yeah, so, listen, I'll say this. I'm better at this than I was at Dark Souls, because Dark Souls, I got killed by that first skeleton like 25 times and then gave up. So, either I've gotten better, or this game isn't as hard as Dark Souls. It's difficult.
I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand the fascination with
why people do this to themselves?
Yeah, it's like a punishment game.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. Like, people who are good at games maybe would really enjoy this sort of thing. But I'm not so good at these that I can just be like, no problem, I'm just gonna fire through this entire game in 4 or 5 hours. For me, this is a very difficult experience. It's good, the gameplay is smooth, the actions are smooth. And again, it's designed to be punishing, so it's doing exactly what it's designed for. I'm just not good at these games.
Yeah, I hate punishing games. Like, I've said it many, many, many times. I don't play games for to frustrate myself. I play a game to relax and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, like, a lot of games, they give you, like, like, they give you, like, easy, like this, like, I killed the one guy, then I get something snapping on my neck 5 seconds later. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
They don't, like, you want to make somebody feel like a god for, like, 2-3 minutes before you, like, absolutely, like, hammer you with, like, 15 people coming at you all at once.
Yeah, not for me, man. Not for me. Not gonna happen. Sorry.
For some people, yes, absolutely. Boy. I can see the appeal to it. I can see how some people who enjoy the Souls games would absolutely love that. I'm so terrible at it. So I don't know. So
the games we talked about this week, I don't like any of them. It's like
I like Battletoads.
Yeah, I said I don't like. Listen, it's not about you, Tico. It's not about you.
This was entirely about me.
It's all about what I enjoy. The only
thing we were here to talk about.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Completely
Go ahead,
mistaken.
Please continue talking. That's what everybody's here for, Sean. Just you. So Ghost of Tsushima, eh?
Ghost of Tsushima. They announced a new game. It's going to be free to anyone who owns Ghost of Tsushima, but it's called Ghost of Tsushima Legends, and it is a multiplayer game of some kind.
Well, it's a multiplayer mode. I mean, I don't think you call it a separate game if it's included. Like, you have to have the game in order to get it. It's DLC or a mode.
I guess they're adding a mode to, like, it's a separate story. It's a separate everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not part of the game. It's maybe they're going to add something on, like in the menu, basically, for this mode. Kind of like they do with Assassin's Creed with the Discovery Tour. It becomes a new menu item, right?
Yeah, or like Red Dead, where you have the main game and then you have your Red Dead Online.
Right.
It's a different mode of the same game. And this will be very similar. It's a multiplayer experience.
Yeah, and you take on the different roles. You take on your assassin, you take on the warrior, you take on the archer. Four-player co-op. You choose which class you want to play, and then you go up against these legends of Japanese lore. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you. It looks great. Obviously, it's beautiful, just like the main game is. But we all know how much I love multiplayer stuff like this, because like, who am I going to play with? I got nobody to play with. Nobody likes me. Nobody plays with me.
I don't like you, but I'll play.
Thanks, Tico. That's great.
You know, I'll play. I mean, it seems like I really love the Japanese lore, because this is supposed to go into more of the these legends,
the legends,
more of the
yeah,
mystical and magical stuff of the Japanese lore,
like the Oni, going up against the Oni.
Yeah,
and there's going to be some big, huge raid, like large raid coming later too.
Yeah, so I'm interested in that. I mean, I've wanted. I mean, basically Assassin's Creed Japan for the longest time, because of the mystical elements they always add into those.
Yeah.
Which we saw with the with Greece, with the gods and stuff like that. Yeah. I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. So I'm actually kind of excited about this, even if I have to play with you for it.
Even if.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Chico. That's heartwarming.
Isn't it though?
A bit of a follow-up from last week with Epic's battle against Apple, and then Galaxy, Google kind of responded in kind, basically pulled Fortnite from the stores.
Yeah.
But now Apple is taking it yet another level, and they basically wrote to Epic and said, as of August 25th, we are revoking all of your developer tools licenses. So they can't even develop for iOS. They're going to yank their licenses. And like, whoa, like sour apple much? Like, really? This is where it's going?
They are, they're being sued, and rather than, dealing with the results of that, they're, okay, well, we're just going to take our ball and go home, and we're cutting you off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Apple has a little too much of a monopoly in regards to how that is run. I understand from their point they want to make all of the money off of it, and from Epic's point they want to be able to make, not have to give up so much money of it. But I don't know, it's a very frustrating thing, and at the end of the day, Apple are going to be the ones that absolutely come out looking like the villains here.
Oh, they already are.
Yeah, but like that, and no matter what they do, there's not really going to be any twist to this where they're going to be like, well, we're not the bad guys.
No.
They are. They are the bad guys.
There's no saving grace here. And
I mean, you and I come down on the side of the end user all the time. I don't care about Epic or Apple. I want the end user who's playing the game is the one who's going to end up suffering because of their little tiff here, and that's who we want to support.
On the iOS side, yes.
Yeah.
On the Android side, it's another day at the office. Yeah. Because nothing's stopping you from getting Fortnite installed on your phone directly from their website.
Right. They just pulled it from their little store.
Right. That doesn't stop you from getting it on Android. So it's just iOS you can't do that with, because Apple wants to, they've got that firm grip. And I think ultimately it really comes down to the fact that there's so many rules and regulations in the store, but it's not just the rules. It's the fact that Apple wants to take 30% of every sale.
Yeah, every sale, not just the sale of the initial game. If you sell V-Bucks in there, they want 30% of the V-Bucks.
Like, that's a lot to take off the top. That's like 30% is a lot, especially with the size of the store as it is now. If they dropped it to 10%, they'd still make billions a year.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yeah, and maybe it would enable more small publishers to do more if they didn't lose so much money just by being in the store.
Yeah, just by existing on that platform.
Yeah,
it costs them money, and that's a big concern.
Yes, exactly. And that's, I think, really what Epic is fighting about. You know, they're taking that first step, and other publishers, I think, are kind of getting in behind them. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Like you said, Apple does not come out looking good. I don't think any way this works out.
Yeah.
You know? PS5. Sony has, this isn't huge news or anything, but I just thought it interesting. They said that it is definitely coming this year. There is no delay in anything. But they also say that they feel like the PS5 this year has the best lineup in PlayStation history.
What else are they going to say going into a thing where they're trying to say, our lineup this time, it's crap.
It sucks.
It's a crap lineup. Sorry, the last launch lineup we had was way better. No, they have to say this.
Of course. I think they say, didn't they say this about the PS4? Best lineup in history.
They said this about PS Now, and they've said this about everything. Of course they're going to say it's the best lineup out.
Yeah, I think they...
Not too far. I get audio from that thing, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, they should come out and tell the truth. You know, PS5, it's coming out in holiday 2020, but you know what? The lineup's not that great, so you might want to wait.
Yeah, you've already played all this stuff. You're not going to enjoy it. Maybe skip. Yeah, of course they're going to say that. Yeah. And maybe they're right. Maybe it is the best lineup ever.
But what is the lineup? Other than the games,
it's the best one ever. It's the best one ever, Sean. That's all it is.
I can't think off the top of my head. We'd have to go back in our notes, but I can't think of what those PlayStation 5 games are, other than the ones that are coming out that will simply get a new version of it for PS5.
Well, and
you're going to be able to play it anyway.
Yeah, they're just saying it's the best lineup. Like they're talking about things like Valhalla and Cyberpunk and stuff like that. They're talking
Watch
about
Dogs
those when they say
and
it's the
all
best
that.
lineup. Yeah, so like, you know, it's a great holiday for people. I mean, the fact that it's going to be PlayStation, great, good for everybody, I guess.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just talking about having Spider-Man in Avengers, and that's all they're talking about. That's the only thing they're talking about. It's like, we have Spider-Man in Avengers, and that's their best lineup in PlayStation history because of that.
But you're not going to get an upgrade for that.
No, but it's already the best lineup in PlayStation history.
So, I mean, okay, so it's still coming. COVID hasn't delayed the consoles, and Microsoft has already said that, yes, the Xbox is coming in November. So,
yeah.
Okay, good, great. I didn't doubt it. I honestly never doubted it.
I didn't even really think about that because they've given us that information already. So, like, for them to have to come out and say it again, I'm like,
yeah, right.
Like, who said that it wasn't coming? Who's the one who said it? Was it you, Sean? It wasn't you. So
it wasn't me, Chico. It was not me. I would never say such a thing.
Oh, well, good. What did you watch, Sean? Did you watch anything? I watched stuff.
I watched TV.
I watched a few things. A new movie came on Netflix called Project Power.
Yes, I want to see this. This looks interesting. About a pill that can give you superpowers. Is that the one?
Yeah. So there's a pill. Yeah, it's a pill that's been designed, and you activate it, and you pop the pill, and you get superpowers for 5 minutes. But you don't know what power you're going to get.
And it may kill you.
It may kill you. Your power may just be that you explode.
Such a great concept.
But once you know your power, so once you've taken it, you get the same power every time.
Okay.
Right? So it's not a random power. So like once you like, hey, my power is stone skin, and you're like, I'm now I know that. Great. So now I can pop a pill and I have stone skin or whatever it might be. It's really interesting. It's very dark. I don't know. I would have liked to see more of a touch of humor to it, whereas it treats it like a very, very serious situation the entire time.
You know what it really sounds like? It sounds like Limitless, but superpowers.
Yeah. Very similar. They don't really get into like a lot of like the hero in the thing. It's I can't remember the guy who played Robin. Now I can't remember anybody's names. The 3-name guy.
Something Hewitt, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Joseph
Gordon. Love it. Joseph Gordon.
Yeah. So he's in it. He plays a cop who is trying to investigate this because he's taking the pill, and his dealer gets involved in the whole story. Jamie Foxx is trying to rescue his daughter, who's been taken by the drug dealers, and so and he's like the guy, like, he doesn't take the pill though. He doesn't. It's like the guy, I don't believe in guns, and then of course what's going to happen at the very end.
Of course,
spoilers. He'll end up taking a pill. I just ruined it for everybody.
I know. I don't need to watch it.
No, like you didn't know that 5 seconds into hearing me start talking about it.
I didn't actually. You just ruined it.
I've ruined it. Well, there you go. I've ruined it. But yeah, it's like, and it's a bunch of random goons throughout the thing who take the pills. But there's not really any real explanation or exposition on it. It's like the guy takes a pill, and that's a power, and it's like different powers.
Is it worth watching though, even though you spoiled it?
It was okay. I'll be entirely honest. I didn't love it.
Okay.
It was okay. It's well done. I felt along those. You remember that Will Smith one on Netflix? A few years back.
Yeah, the fantasy one.
Yeah, the like monsters, but he's like a cop.
Yeah, and the fairies and stuff like that. Yeah.
It felt along the same vibe as that. A little better than that.
I was hoping, because that movie was terrible.
A little better than that, but it's not one where I'm like, oh man, this is on my gonna watch once a year list by any means.
Okay.
It was just okay.
It's on Netflix, so you can watch it.
Yeah, if you have Netflix. Enjoy.
New show this week called Lovecraft Country, which is basically Lovecraft Cthulhu lore.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, this show was. I thought it was great.
I absolutely loved this show.
It was the first episode was really slow going.
Yeah.
Until like the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, whoa, what is going on?
Super fast pace. I really enjoyed the pacing, the introduction, sort of the feel of the whole thing, and then like just everything just blew up super fast, and like so well done.
So here's a couple of things that really stuck out to me.
All right.
First of all, I loved it. I'm very, very interested in the next episode. But there's a couple things, like they introduce these characters. They do like lots of stuff going on at the beginning in their hometown. And they introduce these weird like characters doing things. I won't even mention what's going on in the back alley. But afterwards, I'm thinking, what was even the point of introducing these characters with like in such a way? Because they have no bearing on the story whatsoever, because the main characters just leave town and go.
Well,
like,
I believe that we will see some of these characters turn up again. So at the end, I don't know if you watch the little scroll at the end saying like, this season on thing, where we did see a lot of the characters from the hometown are going to end up maybe in Lovecraft Country.
It felt weird to introduce a bunch of people and then just leave the town. Right.
Yeah, I think that they do show up. Her sister, the singer,
the sister, and the guy from the bar.
Yeah, like I saw, I believe, both of them in some of those little clips for moving on in the season. Yeah, really fun Cthulhu. If you're into the Cthulhu mythos at all, it is a really, really well, at least so far, really well told take on that, and I really enjoyed what I've seen so far.
The other thing that really stood out to me, and it kind of actually, it bothers me, even though I know this is history, but the main characters, they're all black, and it really deals with how they're treated in the. Is this the 20s? I want to say this is the 20s.
Let's go with 20s. Yeah,
I think it's around the 1920s, and it really, really. In your face, this is how blacks are treated. Yeah,
yeah, and very prevalent with the racism.
What really stood out to me, and it's like almost to the point where, as a white man, I'm ashamed, because it makes the white people look so freaking stupid. Like it boggles my mind that that's how people thought back then, and that's how they treated them. Yeah. It's like. I am so embarrassed, to know this. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's it really makes white man look so freaking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, and at the point too, this is again comes from an education point, like this, the idea of the, it was introduced into a sundown town.
Yes.
As they're driving through that county, the sheriff stops and said, "Well, this is a sundown town, so if you're not out of, beyond the county limits before sundown, I'm gonna hang you up."
Well, he had that's the whole point. Is he said with sundown towns and sundown countries, they were sundown counties. They were within their rights to kill them if they were in town after sundown.
Yeah, and
are you serious?
The fact that this is not part of the regular education system, I did not know about that. I never knew this, obviously, about racism, but I did not know that this was something that was there. And we're learning as we see some of these things. The Watchmen TV series brought up the Tulsa massacre.
I didn't watch it.
So I mean, take a look at that. There's a lot of stuff that is just not in the regular education system, which we're starting to see come out in entertainment right now. And I'm really glad we're seeing this, and people are getting exposed to this, to see this is why it's not like people are just oh, they treated us a little poorly. No, people were
treated like garbage.
Yeah, they're absolutely, and this is why
they were treated as inhuman.
Need to change now. That's why things need to change now, because it hasn't gotten better.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and it needs to change for better. So I'm glad that we're seeing these things, and people are looking at this and doing some research and looking up oh, that was a real thing, and learning about that. But
it really makes us look like in those days so unbelievably uneducated. And it's just, and here's the thing that really gets me. There are still people in the world who think that way. And that makes me so unbelievably angry that actually still exists today.
Yeah.
It makes, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever that you could even think that way.
It's baffling as an educated human being to even think that this is something that would have ever been,
and still does happen, and still does. Yeah.
And I mean, it's why it's why we support causes like Black Lives Matters and stuff like that, is because these things have to change.
Oh, I agreed, absolutely. What else did you watch?
Well, I did watch a show on it's on Prime, World's Toughest Race Eco Challenge. So this is from the creators of Survivor. It is hosted by Bear Grylls. It is
Bear Grylls. Did you say it's hosted by Bear Grylls?
Yeah, that's the guy's name.
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, Grylls. I don't know. It's Gryls or something like that. But his name's Bear.
And his first name is Bear.
I don't know if that's his real first name. I've not done enough research on the gentleman himself. He's a survivalist. He's there's all sorts of TV shows with this guy, and he
I used to watch Survivor Man.
Yeah, I think that's him.
That's not Survivor Man, is it?
It's not Survivor. No, I don't know. Maybe it is. Anyways, he's the host of this show, and it is teams of 4 from all around the world that go on the world's toughest race. It's in Fiji, and I'm watching. It's man, that looks so cool to be able to do. It's stand up paddleboarding and walk. I would love to try something that, and then I realized there's no way I'm ever doing anything close to that. I'm getting tired watching them do this, but it's really an interesting watch. 66 teams started the race. I think 41 teams actually finished the race. People got hurt. People just couldn't do it. You just get exhausted. They can't do it. It's really interesting. It's an absolutely grueling race. It's really evident in the first episode. There's one of the top tier teams, and one of the guys from the team's just the first bit of the race, and it just took so much out of him. He was basically on cruise control for almost an entire day. He could not recover from it. He actually said, he goes, I'm feeling a bit better, but I'm not going to be able to recover from this until after the race. And this is on day 1 of a 12-day race.
Oh my gosh.
And so and this is a bigger guy, not fat, but a bigger guy. And they basically tied a rope around his belt and just pulled him because he didn't have the strength to aim himself or anything like that. Like they waited until he was feeling okay to stand up, and he was like throwing up. And
What?
just watching these people, these like people who do these things. There's people in their 40s, 50s, 60s doing this. Some really amazing stories.
And
from some
you want to
races.
do this?
I want to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I want to think about doing this. I mean,
Well, you can think about it all you want.
Yeah, I'm not going to actually do it. It's just like, you get it's like, yeah, I'd like to be in better shape and, be a better person and do more things for the environment and, do these races and stuff like that. But I'm never going to actually do it.
No.
I mean, I'll watch season 2. That's about as close as I'm going to get to actually doing these races. I will watch season 2 of this.
Right. Yeah,
this show.
That's as close as you'll get.
But it's like, the idea of it is appealing. Like, Fiji's absolutely beautiful. So you get, you get all of the views and everything like that. And just the idea is like, it would be kind of cool if I was not, just so out of shape to be able to do something like that. It would be really cool to attempt it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not going to be able to ever do that, but it was really interesting watch.
I've never, it's sort of out of my purview. I don't really watch those kind of things. But things that are kind of in our purview, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but Netflix has a new show by the same people who did The Toys That Made Us.
Yes.
And then they did the movies that made us too, I think.
Yeah.
Now
so of course this is of course called the games. No, wait, they decided
no, it's not called the games.
Convention.
It's not the games that made us. It's called High Score, but it is the games that made us. You've watched some of it.
It isn't. Yeah, it is and it isn't. It is the games that made us. It focuses on the gaming industry from the start. I've only watched one episode so far, but it talks about, the first video game. So it's not an episode dedicated to one game, and that's why it's not the games that made us.
Now, each episode
is
it good? Is it well done?
Yeah, it is actually really well done. It's not standalone episodes. Like the episodes obviously are standalone episodes, but it's designed as a
serial
6-episode documentary on the gaming industry. And so they go through, they talk to different people who were instrumental in starting stuff. They talk to the guy who invented Space Invaders and Pac-Man and Missile Command and how.
Do they talk to Robert Baer's son?
I don't think so.
He created.
But I don't.
Okay. He created the original video game.
Yeah, I don't think they haven't gone that far yet. But like Nolan Bushwell was on there.
What do you mean they haven't gone that far? You said they started at the beginning.
It's not starting at the beginning, but they're starting at like when arcades, like, so they didn't start with the very first one.
Okay.
They started with like when they first got into arcades and when they start, like when the sort of the boom started of these. And so that's where they sort of started with that.
They didn't start with Pong.
No, they did mention Pong though.
Okay.
But they didn't start with it.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed the first episode. I will be watching the other episodes at some point, in my life.
I want to go on a little bit of a rant before I get to the last show I watched this week.
Sean, nobody tunes in for your rants. They tune in for my rants.
Do you want to rant?
All right, we'll let you have. No, you can have a rant. Go ahead.
So Dorothy and I are going through NCIS, the original NCIS. There's like 17 seasons. We're on season 9, and there was an episode in season 8. Of course, the closer we get the further we get in the seasons, the closer we get to today. So that was in like 2010,
Yeah.
And MMOs were getting bigger and all these things, right? There was an episode. So there's one character, McGee, who's basically a computer geek. He's a gamer. He talks the lingo. Typically, they write him fairly well, although you can tell that whoever's writing these shows knows nothing actually about computers or gaming. But they did one episode that actually the whole idea of the episode was around this gamer who was being targeted. Get this. First of all, when McGee meets her, he's like, "What? Oh, you're the Max Destructoid? You have the high score. Get this. You have the high score in every multiplayer online RPG out there." And I'm like,
don't have a scoring system.
MMOs don't have scores. What? Like that one line alone showed how how inept you are as writers trying to talk about video games. Not only that, Tico, but the reason why there's somebody's trying to kill her is because her high score in an MMO was so high that the computer showed a kill screen because it couldn't calculate her high score. So it showed this kill screen, and the kill screen was like these secret documents that the developer had embedded in the code, and he was selling his code to like the highest bidder type thing. And they were like codes to hack into the Pentagon. Right?
That seems like a really convoluted storyline, to be honest with you. That
but the whole thing was like, wait a minute, you're telling me in 2010 a computer game couldn't handle a high score, so it did a kill, and they're referring to the kill screen in Pac-Man, right? Yeah. Pac-Man, when you got to level 256, there was a memory overflow because the 256 kilobytes of data or whatever couldn't handle moving on to the 257th randomly generated level. It would crash. It would give a kill screen, right? We're talking about high-end PCs in 2010, and you're telling me a game in 2010 couldn't handle a high score, and so it showed a kill screen.
Yeah,
do you really think I am buying this? Like, if you don't understand the source material, don't write an episode around it. Like, it makes you look so stupid.
It really does. I mean, it's the same thing with the Sandra Bullock movie, The Net.
Oh, that was terrible. I hated that movie.
People don't know how the internet works. Just do whatever you want.
Right? And Swordfish wasn't any better.
No. No, it's whenever somebody's hacking something, it's like, and you get like these pretty VR, Lawnmower Man type screens that people are like floating through in order to hack stuff. And it's like, oh, that's not how these things are set up.
That's not how it
at
works.
all.
I know. And whenever they show somebody coding, it's just streams of code rolling up the screen. That's not how coding works.
No. No.
Anyway, speaking of getting inside things, Inside Legoland was a show I watched, and it's all about the actual Legoland in the UK, like the park that people can visit. Yeah. And it's all like the hotel, every room has Lego models in it. There's every statue in the park is made of Lego. The whole thing is all Lego, and it's an inside look at how the park is run. Everything that happens in the park, the builders, the maintenance, the people who check the rides, and even the first aid people. Like, it actually is really, really fascinating show. And it's you see the people who are actually hired, and their job is to build Lego models to put in the park.
Yeah, it's
how
so
do
cool.
I get this job?
There's a Disney one as well like that, which is so cool. Like you have to apply for them, Sean.
I know.
Just call them up, and say,
hey,
I know nothing about any of this. Can I come have a job?
Right.
And like here's the plane that I built from the Legos I got in my McDonald's Happy Meal, 25 years ago. Is this good enough for a resume? Like we've watched the Lego Masters stuff, so we see the absolute ridiculousness that you can do with Lego.
Oh, it's so amazing.
And again, this is how people. It's like the Imagineers at Disney. Like the way their brains work to build these things are just so cool.
Yeah,
and it's really neat that we're seeing a lot more of these inside looks at how these things are done.
I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I mean, it was really well done, really interesting. It was great. As a Lego fan, I mean, it's not about Lego, it's about Legoland.
It's about the park. Yeah,
it's about the park, but it's so well done. It's just so fascinating to see how it's run and maintained, and how excited like the people who work there actually like enjoy their work, because they're working with Lego every day. Having to, even the people who have to fix the models that are already out there. They get to go. They're working outside with Lego. Right? And then it shows the warehouse where they've got stacks and pallets of Lego being delivered. And it's just these massive boxes, and they have these drawers that's just one piece of Lego. It's one style of Lego. The entire drawer is just filled with that one like red 2x2. And,
Yeah, that's what they need.
It's like, oh my gosh, just this room full of drawers of Legos. Like, just let me run wild.
Sorry, I'm just going to mute for 1 second. You talk about the next thing, and I'll just mute and respond in a second.
Okay.
Google Broadcast.
You're not muted.
What's the message?
Shut off the damn microphone. Well, I guess the mute button didn't work. My daughter has her karaoke machine going at full blast upstairs, and so yeah.
That was great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tico, for that
Yep,
inside look at your fathering.
This is my fathering. Like, we have a show, 18 times a week. How hard it is to be quiet during those 18 times.
Right? Come on.
So.
It's like, just, if you're not sure, assume. Anyway,
exactly.
The last thing I want to talk about, I was actually very excited about this. So, of course,
I'm so excited about this.
Supernatural is coming to an end this year. It was supposed to already be done, but because of COVID, it's been delayed. So
yeah.
Season 15 will return, and it will be done. We already know that Jared Padalecki is going to be the new Walker, Texas Ranger. And it made me wonder, what's Jensen Ackles going to do? Of course, Dean from Supernatural. Well, yes. Dean is going to join the boys for Season 3. And he's going to be like the original. He's basically going to be Captain America, the original superhero called
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a perfect fit for Jensen Ackles. Oh my gosh. Like, because he's got the humor. He can be serious. Yeah. He can be a hero, but he can also be super funny. Right?
Yeah, and he has the perfect fit for this type of a show. The way this show is going is perfect. I know there's another casting, Lamplighter, one of the original 7, was also cast for. I can't remember if it's season 2 or 3 that he's going to be in. Was I believe it's Aaron Ashmore.
Oh, okay. Sean's brother. He played Iceman.
Yes, he played Iceman.
Yeah, in the X-Men.
Yeah, so he's going to be Lamplighter. Who's one of the original 7.
I like the Ashmores.
Retired.
I like when the Ashmores show up everywhere.
Yeah. Canadian kids.
But you never know which one it is. Is it Sean?
No.
Or is it Aaron? They're so identical. I don't even know the difference between them. But yeah, man, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy in The Boys Season 3, I don't think you could have got a perfect casting for that. And here's the funny thing. If you read the article, Supernatural's Jensen Ackles joins The Boys for Season 3. It's at GameStop, not GameSpot. But I love the quote here from Eric Kripke. Of course, Eric Kripke is the creator of Supernatural, and he's also involved in The Boys. And in the release, showrunner and executive producer Eric Kripke offers one of the more memorable statements to grace a promotional announcement. I love this. This is his quote. "When I was a child, I had a crazy, impossible dream to provide Jensen Ackles with gainful employment. I am happy to say that dream has come true. Jensen is an amazing actor and an even better person, smells like warm chocolate chip cookies, and I consider him a brother. As Soldier Boy, the very first superhero, he'll bring so much humor, pathos, and danger to the role." It's like, yes, that's a great quote.
Yeah, and even better, he doesn't have to leave Canada in order to continue filming.
Oh, it's Toronto, right? The Boys?
Boys is Toronto, so he'll have to move from Vancouver
to Toronto,
from the Supernatural set over to Toronto to film. So,
well, we'll have to go visit. Say, hey, Jensen.
Yeah,
big fan.
Why not? We'll just pop in. We'll be like a duo of villains for one of the episodes, and. Yep.
I mean, I've actually been watching Jensen Ackles on television since season 4 of Supernatural, which he was in the entire season, and then the very next year was Supernatural. Yeah. Right? So I've literally been watching Jensen Ackles on television every year since 2004. So, big fan. Big fan.
So, no, I'm glad it's that show. I'm enjoying that. We're like a week and a half away from season 2.
Oh, it's going to be good. Yeah, but then we're like a year away from season 3, so.
Well, they're already filming season 3, so it may not be that long.
Oh. They're already filming, but they haven't even finished Supernatural. Man, he's busy right now, I guess.
Yeah, but he's in season 3, but they're already filming some of the, like, he can shoot back and forth for a couple episodes.
Can he, though?
They're not going to just and here he is in the first episode and, and be in every scene for every episode.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they'll have to do a Supernatural Boys crossover episode.
I yeah, and why not have Walker Texas Ranger show up for an episode?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
And
Anyway,
then this pan to Chuck Norris just.
okay, the show's getting off the rails, so I'm going to end it here.
What? No. Okay.
The rails have disappeared, Tico, and you are shooting along nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even
about
know.
life.
Anyway, this has been episode number 381 of the OMG Hour. You can, I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore, Chico. Anyway, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, come on over to youtube.com/OMG Nexus. The show is on Twitter at the OMG Hour. We're also on Facebook as OMG Nexus. And I am Zion Tane everywhere, and that is XIANTAYNE.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place, and Instagram for our board game stuff is Flipping Tables with OMG, where you can see all the latest for kicking tables, flipping tables, and whatever else we do with tables in the future.
All the table stuff is there. Excellent.
All the table stuff.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, guys.
I'm so used to doing interviews that I completely forgot what we were doing here.
Yeah, we just you stop and just give the thumbs up when it's time to cut.
I was like,
and no.
I don't even remember how to end our weekly show, since our weekly show is once a week now, and we're doing like interviews 3 or 4 times a week.